It's the simple things in life, like reminiscing through old photos, that Nancy and Chris Walker appreciate so much more these days.
Even if things are different, and I know they will be, but just to know that I still have him is a huge relief, because I feel like I almost lost him.
Both in the field of saving lives and serving others, Chris a firefighter and Nancy a paramedic, the couple lived a busy life until what seemed like a minor injury turned into something more.
Our fire department here was wanting to go to Washington, D.C. for the World Police and Fire Games. One of the very early games, I guess, he was trying to dodge away from one of the balls, and he felt a little twist in his back. And it didn't seem like a big deal at the time. He said, it was probably just turned the wrong way or whatever. And one day he came home from work and he started rubbing his thighs, and he was kind of doing this. And I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "My thighs just ache at the end of the day." He said, "It's just like this really deep, deep pain in my legs." So I agreed with him at that point. I said, "Maybe you should go back to the doctor."
Finally, after multiple visits to the doctor and several medical tests later, the pair received a diagnosis that changed their lives forever.
He said, "You have a growth on your spine." And he said, "We are dealing with cancer. The type of cancer that you have is called a glioblastoma. And a glioblastoma is a brain tumor. It develops in the brain, and the number of cases where this type of tumor has developed outside of the brain is only a handful in the world." And he said, "I can tell you at this point that your brain is clear. There are no tumors, there is no cancer in your brain." But he said, "After the first surgery, we told you that taking out any more of it would cause permanent damage. So now we're at that point where if we take this out, there will be permanent damage."
Faced with a life-changing decision, even then, Chris's passion for life remained stronger than ever.
Chris didn't skip a beat. He said, "Let's do it." And I'm crying and sobbing, and I said, "Don't you want to think about this?" And he said, "What's there to think about? I have cancer. They can remove it. Or they can leave it in there and it can slowly kill me." At the end of the day, when they did the surgery, it was a almost 6-hour surgery. And when they came out of it, he said they've had to remove 2/3 of your spinal cord. And so when people ask me now, well, he'll get some of that function back. And I've said, no, he won't, because they've actually removed his spinal cord.
Unable to regain function and in a wheelchair, after months of chemotherapy and physio, Chris is finally at home. But their journey isn't over just yet.
Unfortunately, the home is not ready for him. So there are some things that need to be done. The ramp that they built, the temporary ramp that they built, is too steep, and he won't be able to get in and out by himself. I would have to push him. Our bathroom is extremely small, and he couldn't get through the doorway. The doorway is just too narrow. The countertop would be in the way. He would not have room to get in there, and he certainly would not be able to make it to the toilet or to the bathtub. So our bedroom was not accessible for him either. The doorway was too narrow. There was carpet in there. The bed was too high, and not enough room on the sides to get in and out of bed. So there's a lot of things that, in the bedroom that needed to be changed as well. And we haven't even talked about accessibility for our vehicles.
With over $20,000 worth of renovations still needed, Nancy is grateful for the generosity of the people of Williams Lake, but it hasn't been easy.
Right from the start, we've had guys that have come and shoveled our driveways in the wintertime. They have had fundraisers in our honor. They have presented us with money. They're all a band of brothers, and that's what they do for each other. Over time, I've learned, put on a face and just say, well, this is what it is, and someday I'll understand why this is happening. It isn't today, but, just trying to, create that balance, and still trying to, on the weekends, I try to go and work in the ambulance to try and have an income, because I don't take money from the business. We're not that established yet, so I'm just trying to balance all of that, and just trying to find where I can have time for everybody that needs me.
A GoFundMe page has been set up in honor of Chris in order to help out with renovations and other medical costs. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Christina Jung.